Cursed Hollow is the third map in the best of 3 series, and we have an Abathur banned out immediately by mYinsanity. A very European thing to do, to ban that Abathur here on Cursed Hollow against Kiev6. I can't really blame them. The way that Hydra already controlled the Vikings was pretty sweet and really worked for them. Kiev6-1 are the two heroes that are banned out most of the time, but we've already seen earlier an ETC banned out. You can ban out an Uther as well. Tassadar has been banned. Like, those are the heroes that most people are really thinking about when they're trying to ban out now. You have to keep in mind that we have mYinsanity actually with the first pick, so Kiev6 could actually... I really feel that banning out Kiev6, for example, would be quite nice, because I suspect that mYinsanity would use that. But they ban out the Tyrande instead, which is also a menace, of course, on this map, since she can interrupt the tribute channels with her owl and get a lot of stuns in. The problem that we have at this point is Kiev6 is therefore picked as a first pick, and Kiev6 can on this map do a lot of damage. Kiev6 now with 2 very good picks too. Falstad is even better on this map than he is on any other map, because he can control those boss fights very well with the Mighty Gust and steal them away, and the same is also true for the tributes. We have Muradin as the frontliner for Kiev6 and Falstad. mYinsanity could theoretically now go into that ETC Divine Shield if they want to commit to ETC and Uther. So this is a chance that they have right now. And it's actually like a very good start for them. If they really wanted to do that, there's absolutely no problem for them to commit to these 2 heroes. It's a very, very solid frontliner with ETC. You get a lot of control during the fights. You have very, very nice safety also on the side of Uther. So it's something that they could try to do at this point, and I really don't see a reason why they wouldn't. Other heroes that they could take, I suppose Zagara is really a hero that would be nice. They are committing again to that Sonya. I mean, I know that they absolutely love the hero, but I really feel that the chance that they had here was a pretty big one. Personally, I would have given up Sonya for that. With the Sonya commitment, they can go either Tassadar, can go ETC, or can go Uther. All 3 of them are completely viable at this point in time. And Ethereal, I guess Ethereal works well too, especially because you can, of course, also use him with the Holy Ground and later on as a bit of a safety net when it comes to the boss fights, since you have Falstad on the other end. In theory, we could see something like... I mean, one can dream, right? We could see something like Leap into Judgment. That would be pretty cool. Not gonna happen, but we actually have seen it. We've actually seen it. I mean, I'm joking about it, but we had it on the Chinese scene. There was a game where the Judgment into Leap was actually played, which was pretty sweet. But for now, Sonya and Tyrael are the choices here, and that leaves our good Uther, Karazim still out there, ETC as well. Kind of unlikely that mYinsanity is going to pick an ETC. Uther is banned out. Kiev6 apparently want to play with the Karazim again, so they ban out Uther, making sure that Sonya is not going to get that assist. We have mYinsanity now with a ban on their own, and that's actually like interesting what they are going to ban out right now. Because for Kiev6, I could see a variety of heroes being picked here, ranging from a Tassadar. Vikings are being banned out. Wow, the respect ban for Hydra. I could see Kiev6 with a Tassadar. I could see them totally with a hero that I forgot, and which I'm a little bit embarrassed right now. What heroes are we talking about? Like Tassadar and somebody else. Oh yeah, Karazim, Tassadar would be decent heroes for them that they've already shown in the past. Zagara is very good on this map that they could use. We could see a Sylvanas as well, I suppose, but you don't necessarily need her in this case, I feel. But yeah, they have a lot of options of how they could keep their own heroes safe. I believe that they are going into well, actually, like, to be honest with you, after they picked already Hammer in the first game together with Morales, I don't really want to speculate too much, but the solid draft for them would definitely include, again, that Karazim and, yeah, well, Zagara or Tassadar. Zagara it is this time, and there's the Karazim, okay. That's the most solid option. I guess Kiev6 is actually one of the teams that has a lot of pocket drafts that they really like to use every now and then to get a bit ahead. And I mean, them committing to the Vikings already in the first game, or sorry, in the second game, was pretty sweet. mYinsanity, they still need a healer, and on this map, Brightwing can be a very good option for you, especially since Brightwing with the Polymorph can also work against the Mighty Gust and Falstad if you're getting close enough to him. They could run a Tassadar together with a Brightwing here. So Sonya would get the support from 2 supporters. I actually like that draft. I would like that a lot. Tyrael has shields, Tassadar can use his shields, Brightwing with the heals, you get the damage out of Kel'Thas, out of Sonya. You can play Tassadar not with the full focus on the shields, but having with the static charge in level 7 if you really wanted to, so you get a bit more damage out of him as well. It's definitely something that you can play. You don't have to really commit to that. You can also just like play a bit of a different setup, but it's definitely one of the options. Brightwing and Tassadar would be definitely a solid option for mYinsanity of what to play right now. Currently thinking if there's something else that would really work for them. And oh, Morales again. I like it. I like that more and more teams are actually going for Morales here. Of course, that also makes sure that they don't have that counter against Falstad with the Polymorph when it comes to the boss fights. And they don't have that global presence that, well, Brightwing can use. So they give up quite a lot to get Morales in here. But Sonya is going to be very thankful for the support during these fights. Now the question is, what do they play next to that? Because they can still drop a Tacita, but I find it a bit unlikely that they're going to do that. If they would have played with the Brightwing, then I think Tacita would have been the perfect hero at their side, so they choose ETC, and that makes a lot more sense than going for the additional Tacita in this case. So I'm liking the setup here quite a bit. They have, in this case, a very heavy front line. We have for Kiev6 now probably also... Actually, a hero that they could take here would maybe be a Leoric, to be honest with you. Or a Johanna. You could argue that it's even a bit better to add more damage, but personally, I would in this setup like another warrior, and a Leoric or a Johanna would be quite nice for that. Gives you interrupts on the Johanna side against the potential mosh pit. You have more control during the fights with the Condemn and a Blessed Shield. You could use the Leoric for very similar reasons. You can go deep into the backline with him. You have the Drain Hope, of course, against the tanks. So there's a couple of things that you can really do. If you don't want to play with the front line another one, you could go into additional damage. That, of course, leaves you a bit open. For example, a Sylvanas with a Wailing Arrow can be quite nice here as well. If you hit that during the fights, it gives you also another interrupt against ETC, and if you really hit all the three frontliners, then you have a lot that you can do there. But they go for the first thing that I mentioned. They use that Leoric right now. I like that. They have a fair amount of interrupts already against the ETC mosh pit that they can use with the Mirrodin, with the Zagara, falls it up for level 16, so that kind of works. And Leoric might not be able to really interrupt ETC, but at the same time he's in a position where he can slow these tanks down, can put some pressure on them, and so I really like the setup that they're using here. A good pick here on the last position for Kiev6. And well, lads, we're gonna go into game number 3, and let's find out which team is gonna take the best of 3 series here at the Heroes Battle Arena. mYinsanity or Kiev6. Alright, liking it. It's looking good. Oh, okay, so we have... Huh, now that's interesting. We have an ETC instead, or sorry, a Tacita instead of ETC. As I said, I personally, the draft lagged for them, they said. I really think that the ETC was actually not too bad. I hope that they told that to their opponent before they picked Leoric. Let me actually think about that. Would that have changed? Would my opinion about that Leoric have changed with an ETC pick? It probably would have, to be honest. I mean, there's no way that Kiev6 has to play that draft if they weren't okay with it, so I guess they knew. But yeah, I like that ETC actually quite a bit. But the Tacita, as I said, would have been good with the Brightwing. With Morales, I don't really feel that you needed to go for it. Yeah, but Tacita was always an option, so fair enough. The good thing about Tacita in this setup is that it actually helps them with Zagara with the Greed Tumors. So that's one of the things. You can argue, like, for both heroes. Both heroes are kind of fine. You can make good points in favor of both of them. As I believe we kind of did during the entire draft. So... let's see. Okay, so I should start any second now. We have everybody getting ready here. Blumby is switching over. We have the Tacita. And yeah, it's all good. Okay. Looks like we're about to start. Actually, who's hosting? Yeah, it's hosting again, okay. Okay. Sweet. Looks good. Feels good. Feels good, man. Let's go. Game on. Tutum. And where's my... There it is. Okay, sweet. Alrighty. Yeah, Tacita is being played. Okay, so it's all good. And they knew, so it's fine. Helps that Sonya quite a bit, I assume. makes her even more safe. EDC would have been fine too, but yeah. We are in game number 3, everybody. It's the final map at the best of 3 here at the Heroes Battle Arena. And to the left side, we have Kiev6 with AR on Falstad, Mopsy on Muradin, Hydra on Zagara, Sir Ice Cream on Leoric, and Lunarn on Karazhan. To the right side of the map, we have a bit of a change compared to the draft, because apparently there was a bit of a lag issue, and therefore the wrong hero was chosen. Bloomby is playing Tyrael. Wooby is on Morales, AD on Kel'Thas, we have Darkmook on Sonya, and Nomi is instead of ETC playing Tacita here for the team. Now during the draft we already talked a bit about the potential of using a Tacita here over an ETC. It was definitely one of the heroes that they could use, especially with the Brightwing. I feel Tacita would have been mandatory. With Lieutenant Morales I can see why you would go into an ETC instead, but still that Tacita works out quite nicely. You have the constant heals from Lieutenant Morales, and then you can still use those shields to give, especially of course, Sonya a bit more safety. Doesn't really change the setup that we're seeing for Kiev6. Of course, they were informed already beforehand and were still okay with their Leoric pick, so it's not like they have any disadvantage because of that. They immediately were informed that there was apparently a problem with the draft, so the only ones they got the info a bit late were us. Right now, as you can see, we have already at the level 1 talents a couple of pretty normal choices. I guess the interesting one is here the Purge Evil with the 25% extra damage against heroes, considering that we are having a setup where they do not use the extra frontliner, but instead the Tacita, which is very likely to go into a shield build. Makes sense to go for a bit more damage. They have 2 supporters right now, so that should keep the frontliners alive. One of the big advantages of course, running a Tacita over an ETC is that you have very nice vision on those creep tumors thanks to the Oracle, so that's one of the things that Tacita can use here. And we might actually even see Mental Acuity on level 4 over the potential Leeching Plasma. Both of the talents are absolutely viable in the setup. We can either go for the extra vision or the map, or you can argue that it's a little bit better to give Sonya the extra sustain with the Leeching Plasma and then Color's Embrace on level 7. So there's quite a couple of things that you can do when you are actually running a setup like this. A few adjustments, and it's more personal preference than anything else. There's like no real massive advantage over one or the other. At this point we have also the Seasoned Marksman for Falstad, of course. We're seeing on level 1 still the Reconstitution for Zagara. We have now Reanimation taken for Leoric, and already a bit of a fight happening here with Lunarn versus Nomi. Lunarn is going a bit Bruce Lee mode at this point. Still Transcendence, of course, on level 1. We have seen a lot of Iron Fists, Karazhans, especially when it comes to Team Liquid. These guys really love to go for Iron Fists and play Karazhan more like a melee assassin. We have the Medic already going down. And to just complete that thought, when you really try to go for Karazhan as a damage dealer, the one thing that really is extremely powerful is that Relentless on level 13, since no other melee assassin can run a Relentless, and Karazhan is therefore very difficult to deal with for the opponent's team, and still gives you a fair amount of heals during these fights. As is though, we have Transcendence, a full heal Monk taken here. So that was just a bit of food for thought, especially of course if you've been watching the Team Liquid matches or recently. We have on level 4 now again the advanced block after the trauma trigger for Morales here, so safety first for her. And we still see the amplified healing on level 4. So Ice Cream taken out. Well, he was already on the run. He's of course going to be back soon, but that's another good kill here, this time in favor of mYinsanity. They're going for the fight, and the channel will be nearly completing it, but not quite. Level 4 is Leeching Plasma for Tacita, not going for Mental Acuity here. Fight has already started once again, and that's a really big brawl that the teams are having right now. I'm loving it. In comes Mopsio, and they go for Nomi. And even with the heals from Morales, it's just not enough. Wooby is currently trying to pull a Lunarn. We have a lot of medics. This is the second game with medic actually played here today. We already earlier saw Kiev6 running the hero, but now we have mYinsanity with Morales. Aya is not hit by that flame strike, and therefore he's successful with the channel. Very well done. Extremely well done here actually. So now we have them with the first tribute taken, and both of the teams are just rotating back to the lanes. A lot of those creep tumors have been eliminated now too. Lunarn is just annoying the backline a bit. Darkmook jumps in, but of course there's no way that you can take out a hero like Karazhan this early in the game. A dash back to an allied hero would bring him to safety within a second. So we have now AR just moving in at the bot lane. Once again, Mopsio is moving in against Wooby here, and it seems like he's also running the exact same build that we saw in the last game. He goes for the Infused Hammer. It's actually quite funny for me to see that. Infused Hammer on level 1, Piercing Bolt on level 7. So it's the first time that I've really seen in competitive play that mana talent for the hammer taken. Normally when we're talking about a hammer build, it's all about stacking that extra damage on level 1 with a perfect storm, but right now a very different build here for him. Now already the fight for the camp happening, and the blue team steals it away. They go in for the potential kill, but they don't get it. Darkmog is so far captured out here as a tribute, but half of the team is very low. We have now at least one cleanse taken. So cleanse on the side of Morales. We're seeing the Fission Bomb. Tyrell went straight for the battle momentum. Carla's Embrace, of course, and Ferocious Healing. That's a ton of sustain. I mean, we have now a sustain talents on nearly every single hero in this setup, and with the double support, mYinsanity has a very, very solid setup to survive these fights and really draw them out for a long time. Kelthas, on the other hand, is in a bit of trouble here. mopsio is attempting to hit another Storm Bolt. He still has a pretty decent mana pool considering. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why he went for his level 1 talent. Wow, Tassadai is very low. Nomi is getting hit again, and he's getting taken down. Great kill. Up at the top, though, Darkmog is starting to put some pressure onto especially AR and Ice Street, but Lunan is ready for the heals. AR with the attempt to go straight for the Tribute gets, on the other hand, taken out by Darkmog. And ADRD is now in play as well, but the kill against Sonya. So a kill 2 for 1. ADRD still around. Another Storm Bolt, this time against Morales, gets slowed down by the Skeleton Swing. Really nice fight for the Tribute. I mean, both of these teams have really been at it the entire time. Now mopsio is jumping in again, trying to zone. Nomi is on his way too for another Storm, and he's going to hit that. So Lunan is once again cancelled on the channel. That's extremely annoying here for Kiev6. Both of these teams have shown some crazy cool games already, but at this point it's looking like we are seeing the second tribute taken also by Kiev6. So when it comes to the objective, they are a bit stronger. They have, by the way, Zagara on the rapid incubation on the level 7 talent, which gives her an insane lane sustain. Like, if you run Zagara every now and then and you haven't used rapid incubation yet, do yourself a favor and test it out. It is amazing. I have been, for the longest time, one of the Zagara players that has just been saying, like, nah, I don't like the talent, I don't want it. And yeah, I was very, very ignorant. At some point I was more or less forced into it, and I played it, and it is just so damn good how much sustain you have on the lane. It is crazy. Zagara's level 7 is absolutely awesome. She has so many talents that she can take here, and depending on the map and team composition, every single one of them is viable. It's absolutely beautiful. For now, we have the level 10s coming into play. We're going to see them at the edge of the map, of course. And there they are already. Heroic abilities with Mighty Gust, Maw, Divine Palm, March of the Black King. And mopsio is going to take Avatar for his Meridian, which he just now has taken. The level 10s for the opponent. Oh, we have a Medivac taken. Medivac time. So backdoor strategies already deployed. Sanctification. Here comes the jump. Where's the Phoenix? ADRD hasn't committed it yet. mopsio comes in. They go straight for Kelthas, and he is zoned out. No shields from Tassadar. That was easy kill, and now they go for Morales. The triple maw of death. The Medivac is flying away. Whoopi is just saying, yeah, screw you boys. I'm out of here. Lets the rest of them not die, but leaves them alone. Douchebag Morales is just rushing away. Don't really feel like he had a choice in this case, but of course that looked quite funny. I don't know if that was intended that Hydra would actually hit that more at the time when everybody wanted to enter the Medivac, but it was perfect. Now AR is moving in. Mighty Gust them straight into the towers, but also straight into Lunan, who has Divine Palm himself. The kill against Sonya. Very well done. And here comes also the kill against Tyrael. Job well done by them. Whoopi once again. And there we have him dying now as well. Great play here by Kiev6. They get a quad kill out of this. And I mean, if we count that kill on Kelthas earlier, then it's an entire team wipe. Very well done, yeah. So at this point, we already have, again, the two towers taken apart here in the mid lane. We're seeing level 12 versus level 10. Very solid position here. And this is just amazing what they're currently pulling off. I mean, we have Fawcett at the bot lane, detecting ADRD, dropping him into the tower. Nice flame strike attempt, but AR is just ready for this one. And mopsio is going in. Kill secured, aka kill steal. Goes in, hammers him into the ground. Whoopi was trying to help out a bit, but that didn't really work out for him. So that Medivac at least helping him to jump onto lane immediately, to be in a position to soak experience and defend that fort. But now the 13s are ready, and in this game, I mean, even the mid lane has now been pushed back as well. So for now, we have a Giant Killer taken as a level 13 talent. We're seeing Burning Rage, Mutalist, the Drain Hope talent taken, Crushing Hope, and we are looking at Relentless on Charism, standard talent. Boss is now attacked too. I mean, the situation overall in the game is just brutal for mYinsanity right now. They are in a spot where they have 2 kills against 11. They got hammered into the ground in nearly every single fight. They lost the objective. They're going to lose the boss at the bot lane. They at least try to take the one up at the top, but there's very little that they can do when it comes to direct confrontations right now. So they're trying to play around the opponent, and that's also where especially the Medivac is going to help them a lot. They will claim one boss, and that's very, very good that they were able to do that. That was really, really crucial. But right now, we still have all forts taken, so the boss is going to march straight for the keep at the bot lane. They could try to move in with it. Once again, they are already moving here in the middle, trying now to steal one of the camps away too. Kiev6 is playing a magnificent game here, and they are putting a lot of pressure now also in the mid lane, and that allows the boss a lot of leeway down at the bottom, but they still have to rotate someone over, of course, and that's why the mid lane is completely exposed, and that's where we're seeing Kiev6 push as hard as they can to drop at least the towers and the wall, and that's exactly what happens here. So while the boss has to be defended against at the bot lane, they just move into the middle and do their job there. It's 13 versus 13 talents though. Bloomby jumps in immediately with his Tyrael. We have him with the imposing will now on level 13. We're seeing the intensive care again taken on Morales. Have now the chain bombs finally. Mystical Spear on Sonya and Prescience for Tacita, but still a very, very solid position. And of course the boss at the top lane was at least able to go through one of the forts. And we're looking at the bot lane. Towers taken out, the gate also destroyed. Still a bit of pressure play here in the middle, but we also now have the tribute again on the map. Darkmok and the rest of his team are starting to move in against the mid lane structures, trying to eliminate those. And Hydra and Lunan, are they going to really commit to this? Falset is starting to move over into the mid lane after defending the top. Tribute is not channeled yet. We have Mopsio still waiting here. He's going to stun out Bloomby. Yeah, he's going to move in any second now, and just in time. Waiting for a long, long time to make that happen. Moving in as we speak. It's the same talents for the two. Lunan jumps in, goes deep, and immediately Aya there. Pressure against Nomi, has to move back. Mopsio jumping up to the front once more, and goes for Avatar right away. Straight up at the front line. Here comes Aya with a mighty gust, pushing everybody in. Where's that Maw? There it is. Double Maw being hit. Nomi rushing away. Looks like Darkmok might actually be able to take down a hero or two, but Bloomby's also low. Down goes Tyrael. They kill the Auric though, and Tacita is still able to escape. Darkmok is going for Lunan. Where is that slam? Rushing away in the last second, but Darkmok is still on the hunt. He's not going to get them though. Lunan is still there, and Darkmok is waiting for a spear. Whoopi nearly dying, gets a shield and escapes, but AR is not so lucky. Down goes Falstad. Now Kiev6 is in trouble. Not quite sure what that was. Whoopi moving away like half a screen. Mopsio, can he jump? He cannot, and he dies. 16 talents are ready, and that doesn't matter anymore for this tribute. This one is taken, but in the meantime, a big wave has pushed the mid lane now and put additional pressure onto the keep. The keep is down to half health. It's 12 kills against 5, and it was a really good fight actually for mYinsanity. But if you consider that the mid lane was pushed quite significantly, then that is a bit of an issue. We have renewed swing taken for Sir Ice Cream. Keep in mind, he went for the Lingering Apparition as the level 7 talent, so we don't have the Paralyzing Rage, nor do we have the Ghastly Reach, so no talent that can really combo off the level 16, but instead we are seeing them with a bit more safety on his part. With now level 16 talents also ready for the opponent's team, we are looking at Holy Ground. Of course, on this map, an absolute crucial talent if you're trying to take a boss away, or even if you just simply try to secure the boss that you are attacking. As level 16 on Morales, we are seeing the Shield Sequencer. So we have Nerves of Steel, the Dimensional Warp, and also another tribute now on the map, as Dimensional Warp has been chosen for Tacita to keep him alive during these fights a bit longer. By the way, giving you a bit of an idea of how the damage and also the heals look in these games so far. 39,000 heals on Morales compared to the 46,000 that we see for Charism. So not as much as Lunan was able to get out of Morales on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Nice fights already up here in the mid lane. Again, Morales with a repositioning, and everybody else is moving in. No, Nomi is actually left behind. Uh-oh, that could backfire, but Sir Ice Cream is about to drop. Nice block here, and he's dead. So Ice Cream is dead, but Charism is down as well, and that's a double kill in favor of mYinsanity. They are really, really putting on the pressure, aren't they? triple more and a beautiful one at that, but nobody there. A quad more, actually. Nobody there to really capitalize on it, but at least they got Tyrael. The problem is they lose Muradin at the same time. 80 already is low, but it looks like this is going to be another tribute in their favor. Hydra on the run. Well, if you can't call that running, Zagara is not really the fastest one. Darkmok is going to finish her off eventually. Here comes the Whirlwind, and Hydra is just speared to death. Down she goes. Tribute has been taken. 80 already is on the move back. AR is actually trying to find him, but was not quite lucky there. We have the top lane still pressured a bit, but 80 already and Wubi are already in position. So this game is getting quite exciting after all. At the beginning it looked like we would see another landslide victory for Kiev6. I mean, we had 12 kills against 2 or 11 kills or whatever that was. But right now it's 9 kills against 13, so they're getting rather close. Actually, they had an experience, quite significantly at that. Boss is already about to be taken at the top lane, and down here the boss has just now been started. This could get close. This could actually be really close. They're going for the boss as we speak. Lunan jumps in. Everybody at the top lane is starting to rotate down. Medivac action into the bush. And guys, this could work. Mighty Gust is ready though, so they should be able to steal that away. And where's the Mighty Gust? They need it, and they need it now. Holy ground has been chosen. The boss is theirs, and now the fight is starting, and they are starting to move in immediately. Once again, Lunan is being attacked. The March of the Black King forcing everybody back. The Force Wall already deployed, and at the same time now Justification on the ground. Phoenix zoning Lunan out. He needs to dash in again as Mopsio jumps in with a stone form, hitting his avatar, of course. Everybody still getting rather low on the side of Kiev6, so Ice Cream is trying to drop Darkmok here. The Force Wall again ready and used, but the more against Kel'Thas. Can they combo off that? Nope, they can't. They're moving away, they get the tribute, and at least they deny Curse now, but they haven't won the fight yet, and those chain bombs, they do solid damage, but there's no real reason for mYinsanity to fight any longer. The tribute is already gone, but it looks like they don't want to give up just yet. Oh, it's the Ice Cream just barely getting away there, and oh, the Divine Palm is hitting, but it's a bit too late. He can still drop Leoric, and they do. The bombs are going to take him down. Lunan is also low, jumps away, spreads the love, bombs for everybody, and he himself might actually die because of it. Mopsio is trying to get away, and he jumps out. Lunan is back to safety, and they all escape, God knows how. When Lunan jumped in and spread the chain bomb, I really thought that would be it. But for now, we have actually the boss went through the keep at the bot lane, up to the top, by the way. The same thing happened on the side of the blue team. But this boss is already on core. Is probably even going to be able to drop a shield or two. Well, maybe not quite. AR had to pause the game. Apparently there was a disconnect. But what a match right now. 13 versus 10, the kills that we're seeing. This is getting a bit sick here. This is actually getting really sick. I mean, we have Kel'Thas still down here on his unicorn. And we're currently having Mopsio in the middle over there to the right. We have... Do you know what dolphins are, by the way? Dolphins are gay sharks, which is pretty awesome, by the way. It's like, when I heard that the first time, I really had to laugh really hard. I don't really know how I came up with that right now. I think it's because I just saw that unicorn. That's probably the reason why. Like, don't mind me, but I just think you should know. So in case that you didn't know that, yep, dolphin are gay sharks. But yeah, Darkmok with the defense. So the core is not really going to be scratched. We have 13 versus 10 talents. And we're seeing, of course, well, first of all, Bruiser Camp taken. There's a couple of camps to the right side that can be taken as well. There's one Bruiser Camp. There's another Siege Giant Camp that they can get as well. Both of the teams have lost a keep to the last attack that we saw there. And that is, of course, well, now the main reason. In the middle, we have this one reduced to half health. And it is actually lead for mYinsanity when it comes to experience. These fights are pretty fun. It's really that sustain that we're seeing for mYinsanity that gives Kiev6 the most trouble, because they are in a position where they have, well, they have 2 supports, they have a full shield build, they have also like Nerves of Steel, Ferocious Healing, they have the shields on Tyrael, they have so much sustain. It is absolutely incredible. It's really crazy. And you can tell in the fights that especially Kel'Thas gets a lot of his bombs out, because the fights just take forever, and that allows him to get those cooldowns ready over and over again and drop the bombs in. And with all those melee heroes, it's a really, really big problem for Kiev6 to stay alive long enough to really drop a hard target. So that's one of the things that is the biggest issue for them, I want to say. So for now, we have Karazim and Hydra still with the camp. For them, they kind of need to... I mean, they still have the wall intact in the middle. They even have a fort here. If you're looking down the bot lane, we're currently seeing them with both of the towers ready as well. It's one of the things that gives them a bit of safety. They just need to really start winning a couple of fights again. I mean, they were 11-2 in kills. And at this point... This is just like absolutely brutal. This is really, really brutal because, well, that switched completely during the entire match that we saw. They lost nearly every single team fight that happened in the last few minutes. And we have ADRD right now still on his horse in the mid lane. I actually wonder why exactly he's here. I suppose that he took that watchtower over there and then rotated. It's kind of, I'm really still trying to determine if Whoopi with that Medivac was able to really have a huge impact on the game. I mean, every single time, like he repositioned himself a couple of times quite nicely, which I liked. He was back on lane a bit faster, so he could get the experience when one of the heroes died. But there was so far not really one of those massive backdoor moves that he could go for to actually just like make a big play. For example, like win a fight, move in real fast, and then take down a couple of structures. They had an attempt where they took the boss at the top lane and used the medevac to fly to the bottom. But if we're honest for a second, that really didn't do too much. I mean, bosses were taken by both of the teams already. And, well, for now we have in the mid lane still... I mean, it's kind of evened out. It was not really like a big play. It could have worked, though. But yeah, so far, it's still a threat, though. If you win a team fight and then you can turn that around, that would be quite nice there. At this point, I mean, we're just waiting for Lunan to get back into the game. Actually, it's starting to take a little bit long, so I really hope that there's not a bigger issue. If you look at the damage overall, then we have Falstad by now, let's just double check, at 47,000 damage. That's, of course, one of the advantages that they have, that the longer that goes, we have them in a chance where they can actually like start to do a bit more damage with the auto attacks on Falstad, especially the level 20 is going to be really important with that potential Nexus Frenzy, which is kind of the talent to go for these days. With the rest of the damage, we have 72,000 on Sonya, which is pretty much insane. Zagara alone on 74,000. Looks like everybody is ready to resume it again. Heals, by the way, 65,000 and 45,000 compared to the 66,000 that we're having on Karazim. Karazim, never mind. Okay, so apparently it's a 2-minute reconnect or something that is currently trying to catch up to. But yeah, now they seem to be ready. I can firmly see the troll face. It's not quite that bad, but yeah. Okay, so we have still the fights here. Well, the boss defender, Core, not taken. Cam is taken. We have 19 versus 18.5, slight lead. And as I already said during the break, they're just simply going for the camps now. Going for one camp after another. We're having at the same time now over here the mercenary camp taken as well. This is another tribute, of course, that could cause a curse against... uh-oh. Well, Tassadar should see that. Tassadar should see that. And Lunan is getting the tribute, so they're not even going for it. Okay, that's actually not too bad. Okay, for now we have the fight starting. What did Ea just do? Alright, the bird just committed suicide. He just flew in way too deep. That was a great maw saving the rest of the team. They're trying to fly in with the medevac. That is not going to do anything, I suppose. Nope. But yeah, that was interesting. I mean, what did that actually do? I mean, seriously, think for a second. If they would have walked the distance, they would have arrived at the same time. And like, that didn't do anything. So, yeah, we have the level 20 talents now for them. And that means Caduceus Reactor, we have Ignore Pain, which is the Hardened Shield version for Sonya, normal Hardened Shield for, normal Hardened Shield for Tyrael. To be honest, like that Ignore Pain, basically, it does not do anything else. It's just like, oh yeah, by the way, you can use it while Whirlwind is active. And that's why we give it a new name. And yeah, so it's basically a Hardened Shield. But... as we all know, there's the guys with the notebooks out there, and if I call it Ignore Pain, if I call it the Hardened Shield of Sonya, then it's going to be that comment on YouTube. Caldor, don't you know that it's called Ignore Pain? Sonya doesn't have a Hardened Shield. So, pressure in the mid lane here, and now with the 20 talent, they are really turning up the heat. Again, the medevac. Okay, he's flying back. The curse is there. I mean, right now they're trying to, well, They're trying to somehow save that keep. I wish them all the best of luck because I don't see that happening. Hydra is saved by a great Divine Palm here. That was really nice. But now we have Aya and everybody else just like moving out of the way because here comes the Pain Train and it is hitting pretty hard and is hitting the mid keep. So this one is taken out. They're trying to save at least the bot keep, but they lost 2 now all in all. And here comes the attack against Falstad. Aya is running. He's moving out of the base and he is taken down again. Wow. That turned fast against them. Really fast. For now, it's Hydra that is getting pushed back. If they can somehow save the core now that they have their own level 20s, they might be able to make a play here. We have Epic Mount taken for Falstad over the Nexus Frenzy, double Hardened Shield. We're seeing Storm Shield as well, and oh my god, the core on 80%. Is mYinsanity really going to take it here? They're moving in, Kel'Thas is down, but they go for core. Dark Morg, they're going to get it! It's going to be the 2-1 victory for mYinsanity. Great turnaround at the end of the game. Really well done here. GG and a 2-1 victory for mYinsanity over Kiev6-1. Yeah. Solid. Hello, hotkeys. Could you please work? Thank you. What the hell? Alright, there we go.